Greetings and welcome to another impressions video here at Words About Games, and today we're going to be looking at Sparklite. Sparklite is a top-down roguelite that sees you take on the role of exploring the world of Geodia and trying to take down its Baron, a self-appointed ruler who is mining the planet for its unique ore, Sparklite, with devastating consequences, causing earthquakes to constantly fracture and shift the surface of the world, producing monsters, pollution, and making the skies the only safe harbour. Anyone who's familiar with the top-down entries in the Legend of Zelda series will be familiar with the rhythms and mechanics of Sparklite, which draws inspiration from the legendary franchise and throws a roguelike twist into the mix thanks to its procedurally generated map that changes each time you begin a new run. And anyone who's familiar with roguelites will feel right at home in the loop that Sparklite quickly settles into. A run through the game isn't necessarily about beating the game and calling it a day in one life. You'll descend upon the planet, explore the map, learn enemy attack patterns, find upgrades and new gear for your characters, and Sparklite, the world's currency, to upgrade the city and the sky that you call home, eventually dying, equipping some new stuff to make yourself nominally more powerful, and getting a little bit further next time. Each time you return to the surface, you'll find things have changed. The earthquakes caused by the Baron's mining operation cause the world to shift between runs. It doesn't cause the map to change completely, however. Each area of the game is made up of tiles, which are the screens you'll be exploring, and these tiles simply get shuffled around to create a slightly changed map. All of the pieces are the same every time you visit, it's just that nothing is where you left it the last time you were there. It gives the world a nice sense of familiarity, even as everything changes with each run. You land in the Vinelands every time, and everything you found last time is here somewhere. Chests, dungeons, enemies, etc. The map even carries over the same basic geography. The Vinelands are always at the centre, the entrance to the Golden Wood is always somewhere to the east, for example. Exploration is random, but only to a point, and you can always roughly figure out where things are if you're looking for something specific, which blunts the frustration of not knowing exactly where things are on repeat visits. You can find upgrades that can help with that, of course. Your wrench, which is your primary weapon, features a number of slots for patches, which you can assemble between runs that can grant you anything from improved health and damage to upgrades that mark the locations of bosses, other upgrades, enemy strongholds, and new weapons on your map. Some patches are bigger than others, and you'll quickly have more than you can equip, forcing you to decide what to prioritize. You'll also find new gadgets to add to your arsenal. Some are weapons, like the crossbow or balloon bomber, which allows you to send out remote-controlled bombs at the cost of having to stand still and be exposed to operate it. Others will help you unlock more secrets, such as a device that shrinks you and lets you explore pipes. You can also find items, which unlike gear and patches you won't keep between runs, that take the form of mines, health potions, cluster bombs, and more. These items and gear, however, usually feel superfluous when you're playing. Ranged weapons are either too underpowered compared to your melee attack, or leave you too vulnerable while using them. The latter is also true of items, which take too long to activate to be of any use in combat. It's all well and good being able to drop mines or bombs near an enemy, but they take so long to use that your target will either have moved away from them or stomped on you while you're trying. You're much better off simply relying on your melee attack and dodge to get the job done. Enemy attack patterns are fairly easy to figure out and maneuver around, and once you've run an area a couple of times, you'll have the rhythm down to a T. This makes exploring the overworld feel fluid, but makes boss fights disappointingly simple. The bosses I faced in my playtime follow a very strict pattern that they never deviate from in the slightest, always making the same attacks in the same order, no matter what. The second boss, for example, stomps the ground, swings his saw blade, stomps again, then drops a log on you, before repeating this pattern until one of you is defeated. This problem is indicative of the game in its entirety. The thrill of exploring the unknown is here, for the first couple of runs, whenever you unlock a new area. But the game quickly becomes repetitive and a bit dull, and no amount of map shuffling can make it feel otherwise. Sparklite is still a fun diversion, regardless. It has charm thanks to its quirky cast of characters and pretty pixel art style, but I found myself a bit bored after a few hours of feeling like I was playing the game on repeat. Running through a new area the first time feels a bit exciting, but the laws of diminishing returns kicks in with each subsequent visit, and you don't get enough new gadgets and gear to keep the game feeling all that fresh beyond the first hour or two. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please leave us a comment, like, or subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We've got tons of awesome videos coming every week, including review impressions, indie game of the week, debate-driven top 5 lists, video essays, and our weekly podcast where we discuss games, gaming culture, and the games industry. We also stream 3 times a week at twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames. But most importantly, have a fantastic day.